Hey guys, welcome to the video. To begin, I just want to let you know that this is my absolutely most favorite topic that I can talk about or that I can learn about and that I think will help you the absolute most in your life. So it's actually pretty simple, but it's super beneficial and super helpful. So before I kind of tell you what it is and get into it, I just want to let you know that this is going to help you in so many ways. One thing is it's going to help you avoid any injuries, help you avoid all the accidents, most accidents that happen while climbing. And then life in general, it's going to help you avoid disappointment, guilt, anxiety, false hopes or expectations not being met. You know, people are always disappointed with what's going on and with everything in their life. They're always just disappointed and it's sad. They should be happy. So you'll be able to eliminate that. Another thing is have that self-trust that is so important for you to succeed. I'll teach you how to get that to where you are always being able to trust yourself. And that's super beneficial and helpful in your life. So, you know, part of that is enjoying every route that you climb to its absolute fullest, enjoying every day, no matter what you're doing, whether you're climbing or not, to its absolute fullest. And really all I'm saying is just to bring the magic into your life and in rock climbing. So both. Every time you climb, you feel the magic. Every time you live, which is always, you feel the magic. And probably too, I'll tell you a little bit about an embarrassing story I had in my dating life in the past. So if that excites you in any way, you'd see some embarrassing things about Keith and his past. I'll share that with you also. So if that sounds good, then I'll continue. But then also at the same time, I think I want to give you a little bit of a warning. It sounds awesome, and there's all these huge things that makes, you know, it's like the solution to all life. If you can feel the magic and be happy all the time, every moment in your life, that's like a life-changing solution right there. And the answer is actually very simple. So I don't want any of you guys to get pissed off, and some of you might get pissed off about how simple the answer really is. It's effective, and it works. So I recommend applying it to your life and applying it to your climbing. So just with that little disclaimer that it's super simple and you might get pissed, there you go, that's fine. And also too, before I get into it, I just wanted to put out a couple little stats to help people see how important this actually really is. So the first one is that it's very common psychological data that I think it's like 80 to 90% of all of our thoughts are useless and repetitive. That means they're pointless. To just like a broken record going through our head. It's the same old thoughts that we've always had. There's nothing different. Nothing ever changes. And they're useless. We don't need them. Okay? It's wasted energy, wasted thoughts. Thought is energy. It's wasted energy. So we're wasting our time, wasting everything with that by thinking those useless and repetitive thoughts. Also, 65 to 80%, there's different studies, of all of those repetitive thoughts, or even just our thoughts in general. Hey, Crump, come here. Sorry, my dog's out here. He's running out there on the road. Anyway, they're all negative. And so 65 to 80% of all these thoughts are negative. And you can ask yourself, does that seem healthy? If you have a ton of repetitive thoughts and they're all negative, no, obviously not. Then you go into all the stats about people being hurt in the workplace. There's all sorts of accidents. I think it was 88% of the accidents of injuries that are caused in a workplace are all caused by the worker's unsafe acts and not paying attention. So, obviously, do you think that might apply to climbing as well? Of course it does. And then there's suicides, there's all sorts of depression, all sorts of people being lost and not knowing about their passion, not knowing what to do with their lives, and there are a lot of times disappointed, they're never happy with what's going on. There's a lot of problems with today's psychology and people's thoughts. So first thing, we just need to recognize that there are problems. There's lots of them. And even in myself, I see problems. There's things that need to change, and in other people too. There's a lot of insanity, a lot of bad things out there. It needs to change. Anyway, what I'm about to tell you changes it all. It actually eliminates all of that. So it's actually really interesting. I'll probably start off and tell you a little bit about my dating life. This is several years ago, so it's not me now. But I had an experience that I learned a lot from. And to summarize it really quickly is I met this girl in a hot tub one time, super cute girl, super cute, very nice, good head on her, seems smart, there's all these great things, had a lot of the same interests in common, or had commonality, we had a lot of commonalities, whatever, you know what I'm saying. A lot of things in common, and anyway, we met, talked, laughed, and whatever, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, something like that, and then she had to go pick up her sister, she left, but I got her phone number, we were going to hang out some other time. So, I heard one time from somebody, they told me that you should wait 3 days before you call a girl. And I was like, well, yeah, whatever, I can do that. Especially, yeah, I definitely want to do that with Paige because, you know, I don't want to appear needy and I want to be a cool guy because I am and she's cool and I obviously like her and things like that. So anyway, I waited 3 days, but in those 3 days, I destroyed the whole relationship that could have ever possibly happened because in those 3 days, I made two very detrimental mistakes. So in those 3 days, first thing is that I was making and building up all these future expectations and things that she and I were going to do together and all the happiness we were going to create and all the places we were going to go and like camping this and hiking this and doing all these things, having fun here, doing that. You know, I built up all these experiences in my head that did not even exist. You know, so I swear, I thought about kids, I thought about marriage, I thought about all these things because I thought she was that awesome of a girl. So anyway, I built up this future expectations of her, okay? I didn't even know her. She didn't even know me, but here I was building up these future. And then the second thing that I did that was very detrimental to that relationship, it wasn't even much of a relationship. It was a 45-minute relationship. Anyway, the second thing, hey buddy, that's not my dog. But anyway, the second thing that I did that was very detrimental to my relationship is that I lived in the past. I felt guilty for some of the things, or I felt like maybe I wasn't cool enough for her. I thought she was awesome, and so I was like, well, maybe I'm not quite as cool as, you know, the guys that she normally dates and stuff, and so maybe she won't like me as much, or maybe this and that, and so I started feeling guilty and feeling past, and then all of a sudden my mind would snap into it and say, no, but everything's going to be awesome, you know, we're going to have kids and babies and blah, 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 you know, and it was bad. So I was crazy, and I'm sure a lot of you have kind of done the same thing when you met somebody you liked. Get out of your head. Don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. Always be present with what you're doing. And that is the main problem that I had, is that I was living out of the future. I wasn't present. And that is exactly what this video is about. So if you think about it, the errors are living in the past. The past from now is irrelevant. Whatever we've done in the past, it's not, we can change, we can do things, we can grow, we can progress. Whatever we've done in the past, it's irrelevant. Forget about it. Stop thinking of yourself as somebody that failed in school, or that can't read, that's not good at this, or not good at that, or whatever it is. Stop thinking about it. It's irrelevant. And also, too, the past is only one perception of actually what happened. So you have reality of something that actually happened, what went on. The past is just my one perspective of what happened in that reality. You know, it's just how I labeled it and decided if it was true or good or not or whatever. I labeled it bad, labeled it good, whatever it was. The past is only that one perception. There are actually, if you're going to do it like a circle, 360 other perceptions of what actually happened. You know, so a lot of the things that we remember maybe aren't exactly the way that we remember them to be. So that might be a little trippy for somebody that's like, whoa, my memories of my childhood and all that, they're not exactly as good, or maybe, you know, you never know. It's one small perception of what actually happened. So there's some big errors that can happen in the past. And also at the same time, you can have some big errors of what goes on in the future. Like the future does not even exist, if you think about it. All it is a future projection of what our mind decides it is. It's not real. You know? And so, I heard a dog growling, and it looks like he's chewing on some wood on a stick. So the future doesn't exist. The past also not really probably what we thought it was. And in all reality, the only thing that we actually have is right now. Okay, right now. If you ever look into like some of Einstein stuff or Stephen Hawking, if you listen to him talk about time and like the time-space continuum, stuff like that, like really interesting. Time is a lot different than what we typically think it is from day to day. So time is interesting, and all we have is the now. And the major problem with humanity, we have to realize, this is the problem. I'm going to attack it right now. Is that the major problem with humanity is that everybody lives too much in the past or too much in the future. Okay, that's the issue. That's a problem. And we are all guilty of it. I am. Everybody's guilty of it. But this is where we get to see where we're guilty, see where, we cause a lot of unnecessary suffering, and change it. So the answer is be present. When we don't live in the present, it creates a hell in every way possible. So let's think about the past. Say we think about the past and we have a bad connotation with it. Then we feel guilty, we feel ashamed, we feel this anxiety, we don't feel good enough. Okay? That all comes from the past and putting a negative connotation on it. Then if you get a past and you actually did something good or something positive or something awesome in the past, and you're bringing like a good connotation from the past to now, that means you have this sense of superiority over everybody. And we all know people like that are just better than everybody in every way possible. They're just better. And what that does is that superiority or inferiority creates a separation between you and everybody that you have relationships with. And what that does is it keeps you from learning. It keeps you from experiencing now, and hence keeps you from progressing. And also, too, it creates false and inauthentic relationships between you and them. So now that's the past. It's false, fake, everything, guilt, superiority, pride, that whole egoic sense of whatever. Anyway, bad, causes suffering for you and for others. Then in the future, if you have a good connotation with any future hope or projection that you're putting on it, then you have a lot of these expectations and great things going to happen and whatever. And a lot of times reality, it doesn't work out. Then you feel disappointment. You feel sad. You feel this sense of despair from it. All from having too much hope, too much whatever. And there is something to say about having a benefit. There is a benefit to having a sense of future and moving towards it by setting goals, deciding what you want, and doing that. I'm all about that 100%. But you will never, ever, ever create a future, a positive future, if you don't have a positive now. So think about that too. So if you're wanting to achieve your goals, only focus about what you can do on them right now. And then that will help you achieve your goals in the future. So it's very simple. And then also at the same time, if we have a negative connotation with anything that happens in the future, that brings fear. It keeps us from acting, keeps us from progressing. And that continuous state of fear and anxiety obviously keeps that from progressing, which is digression. And none of us wants to go backwards in our life. So that happens a lot too. So that's how really being not present creates a hell. And then if you think about it, one thing of being present, the best thing about being present is it eliminates all of that shit, all of that bad stuff from the past and the present, the future and all of that. It eliminates all of that distress and anxiety, fear, everything. It's all gone. And when there's the absence of bad, really all there is good. And it creates a heaven now. I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, like, a future heaven creates a present hell. If you've heard that, like, you'll know what I'm talking about. And really what we do is we don't want to live in the future or the past. Create now. It's a heaven. Everything is glorious about life. And when you're present, it eliminates all of those negative things, and it creates a quality and fulfilling life. Okay? So when you're in a state of presence, there's no problems. There are really actually not very many problems. And when you have no problems, you become grateful for everything. You notice all the fancy little details that you've never noticed before. You've just overlooked. And you're grateful. You're happy. They're beautiful. One thing with gratitude is that whenever you are grateful, you're always looking for the best in everything. You find the best. You're attracted to the best. Gratitude will really change your life because you can see the best of everything and in everybody, which is interesting. So speaking of quality and gratitude, you're able to create a sense of quality in everything that you do. So if you're present, let's apply it to rock climbing. Every foot placement, boom, quality. You're not wasting energy. You're not scraping your foot all over the place. You place it. It's set. It's good. Move to your next movement. Your handhold. Set it. Good. Next movement. Handhold. Good. Foot. And you just progress and just like dance up that wall by having every move that you do as a quality move. It has a sense of quality that's amazing. And when you if you bring quality to every one of your actions, do you think they'll be effective? Answer is, of course, yes, they're effective. And if you have every little action that you do, if it's effective, Do you think the net sum of all of your actions, do you think that'll be effective? Yes. Okay? So the trick to being successful in life is have at least 51% of your actions be effective. That's all we should ever focus on, is having effective action. So if 51% of our actions are effective, we're going to achieve any goal that we want. We're barely going to achieve it, but we'll get it. Now, it would be better to have 90% of all your actions to be effective. Then you'd be a lot more efficient with what you're doing, and it would be a lot easier. But that's really the key with everything, is having everything be so effective. So if you think about it, by having effective moves, you're not gripping that hold too tight to where you're wasting all your energy and getting pumped out. You're not gripping it too loose to where you just slip off the rock and fall. But it's that just right amount of energy, of grip, to where you're hanging onto the rock just fine. You're breathing. You'll have that quality of breath. You'll be able to feel what you're doing. Your body will be able to recuperate faster. You'll be able to climb harder, longer, and be a lot more effective with the way that you breathe. And also too, if you apply it to life, if everything you did had a high quality to it and was effective, think about all the job interviews. You would have great job interviews. You would get the job you want. Quality in like the food and things like that you prepare, the quality in the way that you clean your home, that you drive, when you go to that big sales meeting or whatever it is, you'll have quality in what you do. Quality of your interactions between people. You're going to be present. You're not going to be in your head in the future, in the past somewhere. You're going to be with them. And that's the best thing that you can ever give to somebody, is just be with them and let them feel and just understand them, and actually gives them some useful advice or useful help if that's what they need or that's what they want. Then that would be beneficial. And same time with your dating relationships, being present, being there to be able to enjoy them for who they are is beautiful, and it brings some magic into your relationship. It brings magic into your life. It brings magic into climbing, which is what this website is about, both climbing and life. And so I just hope you can see that it creates a heaven in everything. With everything being successful and everything that we do, we have that high quality. That's really all we can ask for, is to achieve our goals with that. Now, the one thing that I just want to ask of you guys, and just make sure that, I guess a commitment from your part, is that, well, first of all, if all of this makes sense to you, if it doesn't make sense, go back. I know I kind of ramble a little bit and talk, maybe a little fast, but go back. You'll be able to pick out the gems and the little phrases that I say that are very important. Go back, watch it again. You'll be able to get some good value out of that. And if it does make sense to you, I want you to commit to your life to be present with everything that you do. When you're on the rock, feel the magic. When you're in your life every day, feel the magic. I would like to ask you to be present and to notice whenever your head starts to live in the future and start putting these false expectations on things, or you start to live in the past and start thinking about past things that are irrelevant now, and you should just move on. So I want you to be able to catch your mind when it's in the past, catch it when it's in the future, and focus on present now, and to be able to enjoy what's here and now in front of you, and to make it the best you possibly can. And I know once you start bringing more presence into your life, you're going to see those benefits that we talked about. You're going to like it. One other thing that I know a lot of people have questions about, and one thing that you will have questions about, is how to be more present. There's really 3 tips and 3 things of advice that I would give in order to help you become more present. The first one is that you want to go into your body. So your mind, whenever you're living in the past and the future, it's all in your head. That's where it is. It's all in your mind, in your brain somewhere. Your body is always present, and it's always reacting to what your mind is doing. So sometimes, say you're walking down the path at night, and you hear something in the bushes, and you think it's a bear, but it's not really a bear. It's just a dog, And but you think it's a bear, and your body says it's a bear, and your body starts to react as a bear. You get adrenaline. Your hair kind of stands up on your neck, your shoulders, everything. You get ready to run. You get ready to fight. You get ready to do anything, whatever it is from a bear. But that's not the case. Okay, that's just your mind, your body reacting to what your mind does, what your mind says, what your mind thinks. So what happens? Your body is always present. It's always doing what needs to happen right now. So you need to go into your body, and when you go into your body, you can focus on your sense perceptions. You can feel what it feels like from the inside of your body out. Focus on your breath. You can become conscious of each breath. Feel it. That's one way to really slow down and become present. And another thing is move your body. That's why I like climbing so much, is because I get to use my body and move it. I get to feel my body reach up, grab something, step out, balance out. Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, you can just feel it, and it brings a sense of magic. And I enjoy every route, no matter how easy it is, no matter how much of a warm up or whatever, or even how hard. If I'm struggling, say I fall 10 times on this route, frustrating it can be, I'm enjoying every piece of it. I'm enjoying the fall. I'm enjoying everything. Okay? Yeah, maybe my skills aren't there enough, or I'm not strong enough, or whatever it is. I'm still progressing, and I'm enjoying that. So I'm in my body feeling that. And then the same thing, too, is the next big thing is just show gratitude. Be grateful for everything. Whenever you feel yourself complaining or being negative about anything, slow down. Be grateful. That will bring you present. There's so much to be grateful for right now that we just take for granted in our lives, and we just miss over it. And it brings that magic and goodness to everything. So gratitude is just a natural result of presence. And whenever you start finding things that you're grateful for, your presence will start increasing at the same time. And again, back to the gratitude, is that whenever you're grateful, you're looking for the best in everything. You find the best in everything, and you bring the best to you. So it brings that, it attracts the best to you. And again, your life will be the best. So, gratitude. So first one, go into your body. Next one, be grateful. And the next one is resistance. You don't want to resist anything. You don't want to fight anything. You don't want to, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So where you have that inner no inside you, oh, it's time to go to work. Oh no, time to go to work. Blah, blah, blah. Last thing I want to do. Oh, I'm tired. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Oh, it's time to do this, or time to whatever. It's that inner resistance and negativity that goes on. Don't resist anything. The best thing you can absolutely do is accept it. Say, that's what it is. It's time to go to work. That's what it is. Accept it, and then take action. So accept, and then act. And this will bring value to your life. So whatever it is, you say, okay, I am $5,000 in debt, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 in debt, whatever. Accept it. I am. That's my situation. Start asking yourself, how can I get out of debt? How can I do this? And then you'll be able to get out of debt. I love it when dogs go jump in a creek and run over to you and shake right on you. So anyway, just as a quick little recap of everything that I talked about, we talked about all the benefits, avoiding disappointment, how to have that self-trust. When you're present, you're confident, each action is effective, you're going to have quality, and that will bring a sense of self-trust to your life that will be amazing. You'll be able to enjoy every route, enjoy every day, bring the magic into your life and in the climbing. I hope you learned something from my embarrassing story, because I'm sure every one of you are also guilty of doing that with relationships or in anything else too. It doesn't have to be relationships. It could be anything. Living in the past on a climb, living in the future on a climb. You're not actually climbing as well as you are. And I know there's people, I think what a lot of people like about climbing is you get into that flow state. You're not thinking about anything. You're not doing anything. You're just moving. Boom, boom, climbing. Pretty soon you're at the top of the route and you're like, what the hell? Who just climbed that? And why did it feel so good? All of it. I'm sure some of you have had that experience, and I think that's what's so addicting about climbing, is it forces you to get present. So use climbing as a little practice for your life. So do that. Then we talked about all the crazy stats. There's a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, a lot of things. Like this dog right here, super sad, super depressed, okay? He wants to go walk, wants to go move. Anyway, how to get rid of all that depression. All the negativity, all the repetitive negative thoughts in our mind, it's sad. It's useless. It's wasted energy. So what we want to do is be efficient and effective. And in order to be effective, again, become present. You have quality. All of your actions will be effective. So it's very simple. It all stems off of being present. Everything stems off of being present. So I just hope that you can take this and apply it to your life. If you have any questions, please ask them below. Share this with anybody that would possibly need it. And in all reality, everybody in the world needs this. So share it with everyone you know. I would appreciate it, and I know they would appreciate it. I hope I didn't talk too long. I think I did get it out there, but this topic is so helpful, so beneficial. So take it to climbing, take it to life, and try to be present in every small, simple action that you can do. It'll bring a quality to your life, and it'll bring effectiveness to your life. So go ahead and do that, and leave me any comments on anything below. Take care.